Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now welcome back to Climb to Master. We return in Diamond Promo. So this is my second game of Sett that we're playing. The first game of Sett would have been uploaded maybe yesterday. We're playing Sett. We're against an Aurelia with a very bad win rate. The enemy team is looking a bit rough. Just going through the ranks, by the way, like there's a few, there's two ex-Grandmaster players in this game, the Gragas and the Nami. Everybody else has been pretty much Diamond 1 or Master. And just to clear up something, by the way, because there's been a bit of, I guess, confusion about it. I thought it was pretty obvious. OP.GG here, what that shows is your peak rank. I've mentioned this before, but it's your peak rank. It's what your highest potential is as a player. So like a few days ago, we uploaded the game that we were against the Challenger Nico. She was peak Challenger. But if you go on OP.GG, which is obviously the other popular lookup website, that shows your end rank. Again, it's worth knowing both, but just the website that I use, Professor, just shows your peak rank. So just to clear that up, but yeah. So in this game, there were two players, the Nami and the Gragas, that were Grandmaster last season at one point. Again, it's good to know that. Anyway, we're playing Sett again. Now, Sett as a champion, I enjoy, but this game does highlight, a little bit more of his, I'd say, carry potential. So I do remember, by the way, this loading screen took an absolute age. So what I'll do is skip to when the game's actually in session. All right, welcome to the game. That did indeed take a while. But yeah, today we're playing Sett. We're against an Aurelia. Now, this matchup is, in my book, should be a little bit more exciting than like the Vladimir one we uploaded. It's Bruiser versus Bruiser. It's going to be a lot of fighting, a lot of like combat, just punching each other in the face pretty much. So it should be more fun. So based on team comps, I'd say team comps are roughly even this game. There isn't any like weird picks, cheese picks. It's just both two standard comps. So it's in essence, whichever team plays better will most likely win the game in the long run. Obviously, we have Vladimir. Even last game, we were laning against one, and I did say I do heavily recommend people to play that champion. Mid or top, it works. And, this game, he's against a Syndra. The Vladimir, in theory, should never die to the Syndra, because when she presses R, if Vladimir just presses W, you avoid Syndra R, right? So, yeah, a little bit of a natural counter there. Top lane specifically, again, obviously, remember that whenever a champion is new, it's a learning curve for both players. I've never played against an Aurelia. This Aurelia may have never played against a Sett, right? So it's a learning curve for both. Certain champions in League counter champions, and right now we do not know if I counter her, if she counters me. We've got not really any idea. And again, sometimes the raw countering can just come off sheer damage. Does Aurelia do too much damage for a Sett to deal with? Does Sett do too much damage for an Aurelia to deal with? And that's something that comes in time. That's not something that you're going to know straight away. So I give the Nocturne a decent pull. Usually I only pull to about 1,000 health, but I pulled to 800 there for some reason. Mainly because I didn't see Aurelia straight in the lane, because it seems that the enemy jungler is also starting topside. So enemy minions are low. I was thinking, hang on, let's do that. And unfortunately, I missed one. Aurelia doing a bit of farming, and notice straight away we get her corrupting potion, and she's going for an extended trade here, and she loses out completely. You do have to remember that she started corrupting, which, yeah, is good for a little bit of burst. You also saw that she's got inspiration, so she's got that thing that like heals her a little bit initially, and then heals her half of the potion remaining. So you have to be careful of that sometimes, because it can surprise you. Meanwhile, she goes a little bit too close for some reason. Big fight potentially happening, but here is what I've said a couple times. Is Sett, because his W is an animation spell, use your W just before you get stunned, and the W still goes off. It's a really nice little counter, and that's something that I knew straight away when I was going to play this match. I was like, ooh, I know I can do that. So already we're trying to force the Aurelia to base. Again, she's trying to back pretty close, and yeah, she takes a buttload of damage and doesn't go back. So that was a little bit weird. That's not normally something that somebody should let you do. And now she's incredibly low. She uses her stun, and I just go for the flash play because I knew she didn't have... I don't think she had flash up. I don't remember. But we get first blood. So there you go. Straight up first blood on Aurelia. Again, a champion that people still to this day have quite a lot of issues with. And I decide I'm going to go aggressive because, hey, I just got first blood. I want to try and carry Snowball last game. If I'm not mistaken, this was basically near enough after. There may have been a game in between this one, but I don't remember it. And again, remember like what I said, I think last episode, is I think the last Sett game got me into promo. And so in this game, I have 1 win. Meanwhile, Aurelia's going aggressive for me again, by the way. And look, I am holding my W. Holding, bam, use it instantly, and we get her. Like, I believe this is a great example of a Aurelia that's probably never played against a Sett then. Because it was, oh, dude, you're losing the trade really badly. I was holding my W a long time until I knew I could get the perfect W. 1, to get the maximum amount of grit, to get the most damage, but also to make sure I land the true damage. The pure true damage, the middle line. I was waiting until I could get that. But I think it's a good example of a game so far that, yeah, this Aurelia I don't think has played against a Sett, because she just took that fight, like, I've got him, and then dead. So, worth noting. But like I was saying before that all happened, I think there was a victory in between the last Sett game and this game, but I'm not uploading it, and that's the point. I'm not uploading every... Yeah, there was a Shen game. I literally see on my match history. It was a Shen game that I just didn't upload because it was just kind of meh. As I said, yes, there are losses that I'm not uploading because they're a bit depressing or you just don't learn anything from them, but the exact same thing happens with victories. I'm not going to just blanketly upload any video if it's a victory because they're not always great victories. So yeah, worth noting that. Anyway, returning to top lane, obviously big advantage for me now. We've got XP advantage, we've got damage advantage, doing a bunch of auto attacks. Again, once again, doing the W combo. When I get stunned, the W still goes off, and by the time the W is off, I'm not stunned anymore. Really nice natural counter. And again, it could be, like, in essence, is Sett a natural counter to Aurelia? Honestly, probably, because Aurelia is quite an aggressive champion. Sett likes laning against aggressive champions because that gives his grit more, that makes his W strong all the time. And really, the whole counter of Aurelia is quite reliant on her stun, and Sett doesn't really care about it. If you just press your W at the right time, you just use your spell no matter what. Worth noting that this Gragas heavily camped mid lane this game, which they might have been duo Q, maybe, but like... It's one of those weird things that I know it sounds weird that I'm saying it, but is there much point to camp a Vlad? Like, he's a ticking time bomb to eventually getting strong anyway, and like, yeah, you could argue, oh, you're camping him to stop him getting stronger fast. Yeah, but like, he's eventually going to get really strong anyway. Like, it's just inevitable. So like, why wouldn't you go and like camp the Sett to get an Aurelia ahead, and then maybe the matchup in late game of Aurelia Sett's closer, or you camp a Misfortune who can carry the late game. I don't think a Syndra's going to carry the late game. Like, Syndra's good at killing one person, and that's about it. You know, that's what she does. So I don't know. It's a weird decision in my book to camp a Vladimir. At least, you know, in theory it is. If it's, you know, if you kill him 10 times and the Syndra and the Gragas gets really fed and they can end the game quick, then I guess that's good. But yeah, I don't know. At least for me, it's rarer to have games ending really quick nowadays in League. Anyway, bad timing for the enemy team to go for an engage. Good timing for Nocturne to do a counter engage. I'm now mega pushing this because I do think Aurelia's still got teleport, and the last thing I want is her to go teleport and help her team. So Leona does die eventually to the Kai'Sa, which is good. I'm going to go back. Obviously, I got my team at first item, and now I think I start building. I got boots, and I get another longsword. I think that would be for a Phage. I think in normal games, by the way, you'd most likely be buying the Ruby Crystal first, and maybe that is something that I even should be still doing this game. I went longsword because we're having a good game. I'm playing aggressive, but in theory, Sett scales with health. You know, again, his health gives him grit, and his grit scales his damage with W, which is his main damage source. So maybe buying the Ruby is the better thing to do. You see there's the first instance that Vladimir gets ulted by the Syndra, but he just W's it. It's like, well, that didn't do any damage. There we go. Aurelia now chilling in the lane, trying to maximize her farm. Boom, we do the W thing again. Look at that trade. I'm nearly full health, and Aurelia is half health. It's just good trading. I'm looking for a tower plate, and there's not a whole lot Aurelia can do. And in my mind, from memory, I was looking, if she goes behind me to get the minions, I can ult her. So I was thinking about that, and I am waiting for the opportunity. And you know, I position behind, I ult her, do a bit of auto attack damage. Unfortunately, I mucked up, and what I should have done, even watching that back now, I should have pressed E, then used my W, and she would have died. Now we're like trying to survive the Gragas, and yeah, this right now is going to be the great example of Sett, by the way. So I'm low, running away from Gragas, take a bit of damage. Now I use my survival, use my stun, I kill him. And I, by the way, think he might have even died without Nocturne there. Unfortunately, I'm a derp. I was not paying attention. And the enemy Syndra, I used my W again to survive longer than I should, by the way. Nocturne also is now going to kill the Syndra. But then, Sett, dude, like, he's really good at surviving. We nearly kill all three of them. But yeah, so I misplayed. We should have killed the Aurelia. That's just me needing to get better at Sett. Use my E, then W, she would have died. Nocturne is eventually going to probably try and kill her, by the way, but he can't dilly-dally, because the longer that he waits, the longer you're giving time for Gragas to return to top. So he has to just go for the play. He does it, she dies. So technically, and there's the Gragas, by the way, back in top lane. We kill all three of them in that whole play. Really good. And I survived 2 champions way longer than I should, even killing the Gragas. Sett's really good at doing that. So you're going to see again in this game, especially more than last game, growing confidence in me as a Sett player of like learning the champion more. Really nice by Nocturne, by the way, not taking the farm, delaying it for me. That's lovely. But yeah, so Sett, I'm starting to learn, oh, his strength is being so aggressive and getting low and using your W at the last minute to survive. Later in this game, there is a good instance of that you guys will see. And yeah, he's the king of it at the moment. I think I might have mentioned last episode, but you do run Last Stand on this champion, the rune, that instead of the one that you do more damage to low health champions, the Last Stand is you do more damage when you're low health. Because by the time you're using your W in a really clutch situation, you probably got not much health left. But the W with Last Stand, oh, it's got good scaling on it, and it's a bit extra damage that can go a long way in certain situations. So this game, I think it's the relatively same build that we're going team at first, then we go for a Black Cleaver. Now, some people may ask, what do I think about Triforce on him? In theory, it's not that bad. Obviously, you're going to be wasting the mana component of Sheen, but it's not the worst thing in the world because, you know, if all the stats that Triforce gives, the only thing that you're wasting is 250 mana or something, then it's not that bad. Sett's good with attack speed. He's good with the burst from Sheen. He's good with the Phage. So, like, I do see it being okay to run on him in theory. I think Black Cleaver is arguably better in most situations though, and that's why I'm running Black Cleaver right now. I decided to use the Rift Herald straight away just to maximize tower plates. We don't have that much longer of tower plates being alive. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to kill the tower, so I'm just like, let's just maximize it. You know, I doubt we're going to be able to use this for like the big like get a tier 2 at early game. I just don't see it. So yeah, I back off because what I'm looking for here is base and then maybe go look to the dragon, because I don't want to give the enemy team dragons. You guys know me, I rate dragons very heavily, so I don't want to give them dragons. And yes, Gragas is soloing it. I teleport instantly without even thinking. I'm like, I'm not wanting you to get it. Meanwhile, in bot lane, they're having a big fight. I'm now with the Gragas, and I'm looking to deny him, by the way. Like, I will ult away, look to try and kill him. Again, I can notice mistakes that I'm making in my game, which is only going to help me improve as a Sett player. I forgot to E again after my ultimate. That little extra E just to bring him to me might have been enough for me to kill him straight away after, but I just didn't do it. So that's 2 instances in this game, in top lane on Aurelia, and now the Gragas, that I didn't press E at the right time. But it worked out. Again, Gragas died, Vladimir went for him, and we got the dragon. So it was good. It just could have been better. And again, when you're wanting to climb, when you're looking to become a good player, those are the things that you've got to try and improve on, is those little mistakes that you're making that can add up. Let's face it, those 2 little mistakes have cost me personally 2 kills. Yes, my team got them in the end, but I didn't get them. And if you're looking to climb, you should also be looking to carry, and getting kills is a good way to carry. So Relia, by the way, because she's had a pretty bad game so far, not surprised at all that she is not looking for any aggressive teleports. She's just going to stay top lane, split push probably for most of this game, and just kind of try to build her strength level up. Now, the cool thing is Aurelia now has gone back, and because we used the Rift Herald earlier, the tower was naturally low, so now we can pick up the tower. And that was the first tower in the game, so that worked. My bot lane's dead. Again, the misfortune right now is an AD carry, by the way, incredibly strong. And I would actually pair it very heavily with what the enemy team has. Leona, Misfortune, I think is one of the best solo queue bot lanes right now. Because they can actually do well in lane phase. In late game, it's a great combo. Both the champions are strong in scaling. Leona's an absolute monster right now anyway. So, like, I would if you are looking for a good support, Leona is the top of my list in supports right now. And Misfortune, you know, but what I would say, it's hard to pull Misfortune off sometimes if you're not duo queue or at least in good synergy. That's what I'd say. Looking for a counter gank. Again, this is Gragas really far behind, by the way. He is level 7 to our level 10 Nocturne. So, yeah, he has got completely annihilated this game. And it's not surprising, if I'm honest. He's generally only camped one lane, this Gragas, and it hasn't even worked that well. So I do take a bit of damage. I now take even more damage. Enemy team goes all in. You can see the kind of like instant desperation by the enemy team. They see a little opening, go for it instantly, and it costs Gragas his life again. I don't mind those situations, if I'm honest, because I know we scaled really well. The Vladimir's had a rough game, but he just got himself a kill on Gragas earlier, and he just got a kill then again on Gragas. So like the Vlad is starting to get his strength built really nicely, and that's good to see. But unfortunately, this game, there was definitely a strength difference in bot lane so far, and yeah, that has shown. The enemy bot lane trying to get ahead, you know, together, and that is the strength, by the way, of Misfortune Leona. If you've got a Misfortune Leona and they're just staying in bot lane the whole game, you're playing it wrong. Two amazingly, like not overpowered, but amazingly strong team fighting champions. Yeah, get involved. That's the point. Like, right now, I would say the stronger AD carries are the ones that do get involved earlier in the game, but also have okay scaling. Like, I wouldn't play Vayne at the moment. I think she takes too long to make an impact. Kai'Sa, even, I think, has been hurt a lot by the meta. It's a quick meta. You need to try and make an impact as quick as you can, and even Kai'Sa can take a little bit too long to get there. So, returning to top lane, and from memory, again, I played this game maybe yesterday or the day before. The Aurelia might now go bot. Yeah, she does. So it was a really weird situation. Why I was like, why is Aurelia bot lane? There's no tower, by the way, in bot lane for her to take. And there's no, obviously, tower in top lane. But I was just a bit confused about it. I was like, why? There was no big reasoning for me for her to be bot lane. Vladimir's gone down there now and can probably hold her quite easily. And now I'm getting a bit of free farm. Which is always nice. Let that push in and now look for a roam on the mid lane. And obviously the cool thing about Sett, he's really good at flanking, because if you get the good ultimate and you can jump somebody back in on the right side, really good. So there's the Vladimir getting a solo kill, and this is the flank that I was talking about. We found the Misfortune, and then I just ult her straight into my Kai'Sa, and we're like, oh, there you go, she's dead. So like Sett, I'd say a good strength of him is pushing and then looking for a flank opportunity and just getting one of those ultimates on a important person on the enemy team. You can do that relatively easy on this champion. And remember, like, yes, you're a Juggernaut Bruiser. You get very tanky on him. So it's like the enemy team can't really stop you in terms of, like, they can't just flat out kill you usually straight away. Obviously, the weakness of Sett is he's a running champion predominantly. So if they've got CC, you can just get CC'd before you can get to the target you need to get to. That's the negative. But yeah, it's an effective playstyle on the champion for sure. Waiting for the dragon, doing some push-ups on the way. And yeah, so this game's going well. We should be looking to group heavily here. Vlad's coming, Nocturne's coming, get the dragon. Gragas obviously levels down at this point. I'm waiting. Where's the W? Boom! There's the W. Look how much damage I just dealt. Unfortunately, it went really bad. If I'm not mistaken, the Kai'Sa might have just went into the middle of the enemy team. So we just got aced. So it was a lot of damage, but yeah, the Kai'Sa's positioning just went whoosh, straight and dies. It is a pattern that sometimes you see with Kai'Sa's. It's the same with Tristana's. Sometimes you see Tristana's jump into the middle of people, but I don't know why. But yeah, Kai'Sa has that thing. It's the Lee Sin syndrome. You know, you hit Q on Lee Sin, you press Q, you go into the middle of the enemy team, you die. Same thing with Kai'Sa. I don't understand why. Just people aren't very calculated a lot of the time. But that, by the way, is worth knowing. We didn't use Vladimir Ultimate. I don't know if it was up. But we didn't use Vladimir Ultimate. We didn't use Nocturne Ultimate. We didn't use Sett Ultimate, I guess. But yeah, so the W damage that we dealt on 3 people instantly was really good. It just fell apart because everybody died in weird positions after. And I believe that gave the enemy team the dragon. So that isn't a good sign. So, you know, a bit of a negative twist on the game, but it happens. Again, games that are a little bit more up and down are a little bit more exciting than just one-dimensional stomps, at least. And again, this game is still very much winnable. As for scaling, it's still kind of like experimenting who scales more. I still have no idea if I outscale a Aurelia, and I can guarantee she has no idea if she outscales me either. I'm now waiting in bot lane to see if she's, you know, coming bot, because that's where she was before. Kai'Sa nearly getting caught out again, and this is the point. Like, look at me right now, my behavior. I'm worried, so I'm like, oh, I've got to go mid lane, but really, this is bad. I should be bot lane. 100%, and I go back bot lane now because the enemy team is backed off, but you can see it, the fight within me of like, I want to be split pushing, I want to be against the Aurelia, but I see the Kai'Sa nearly getting caught, and it like makes me want to go back to help. It's like, ugh. So Aurelia doing a very lazy base here. I use my W, she flashes, but not going to be quick enough to get away. I'm just going to auto-attack her to death, and boom. That is a really good solo kill. That is what I'd also call a lazy death by Aurelia. She based in the middle of a lane. And obviously, yeah, she might not have known I was in the area, but you should never do that. Like, so much pressure the enemy team has now lost because she just died. And she used a flash as well and couldn't get away because of the slow. Don't do that. Be a lot safer with your bases. Or if you are going to base like that, you have to 100% know there isn't an enemy team around. Like, another thing worth mentioning, she, one, didn't know she wasn't on vision, most likely. We have a Nocturne in this game. Like, Nocturne could have just ulted on her. Vladimir going for a solo kill on the Syndra. Now, what the unfortunate thing that he does, he should have walked away a bit. So he did well, he survived the initial damage, but then he should have walked away. Why? Because you saw Nocturne was on his way anyway, and yeah, Nocturne just got the kill. But why did Vladimir have to try and go for the 100% kill? Could have just been a bit more patient, and eventually the Nocturne would have died, you could have walked away safe, boom, you're fine. So yeah, thinking ahead about the broad spectrum of your team and what they can offer you as well is also a good idea. So unfortunately, it's the same pattern that usually happens. I want to go split push more. I'm naturally drawn to grouping. Aurelia's getting ahead in farm for me personally, even though I'm stronger than her, because this Aurelia is just grouping 24/7. Like, never grouped, you know, within the last 5-10 minutes. So, yeah. So I am kind of like wary that the enemy team are near the Baron. Aurelia might be finally grouping now. We just got vision of her. I'm now going to try and, I think, hard push this as quick as I can. Have now completed my Titanic Hydra, which is a good power spike, by the way. But yeah, I want to push this, get this going, just in case like a Baron play is happening. You always do want your minion wave having pressure on the enemy team, because, you know, minion damage does add up. If these minions do get to the tier 2 in top lane, they will do a bit of damage. Now, why am I waiting here, by the way? Well, I don't know where the enemy team is. For all I know, there's like 3 or 4 people coming bot lane, so just wait in a bush, be a little bit safe until I know where people are. And now we might be having a ding-ding fight with Aurelia. So here we go. She does land the stun on me this time. You can see I'm waiting with my W. Waiting. I miss it. So that is a big deal because that's the bulk of my damage. Getting low again. Use my ultimate at the right time. Finishing off nearly the damage. Use my W but miss it. But remember, that was bad. So I played that poorly and we still kill her. So that does show the strength difference. But the W isn't just for the damage, worth noting. It's also the shield. So the shield would definitely was helping me win that fight. But another solo kill on the Aurelia. And now Baron is definitely on the table. So even the enemy team right now might be thinking, quick, let's quickly do the Baron. So we are trying to make our way there. I'm actually surprised I don't teleport, if I'm honest. Enemy team actually isn't doing it. Vlad gets the blue buff, which is actually kind of funny. I'm pinging, let's go in. Nami nearly gets one shot. I think that was even Syndra ultimate, by the way. It was. Nami doesn't die to Syndra ultimate. Nocturne going all in does get hit. I'm now going to flash. Don't unfortunately manage to get the stun on the Misfortune, but we do a lot of damage. We're now going to return for the Gragas. He's going to try and make his way out, but yeah, they all die. I think I get 1 or 2 kills there. That, by the way, isn't the play that I've been hyping up a little bit this game. That is to come. Gragas going to do his best to try and survive. Vladimir, I think, is going to chase him down. At this point, I'm like, you know, Dragon is probably the play. Like, there's pings of the Baron. Not really interested in the Baron when Dragon's coming up. Now Vladimir does eventually chase down the Gragas, and the Gragas does die. Really nice by Vladimir. And what I'd say also to the Vladimir, good recovery. You know, he got really camped in the early game, but that's Vladimir. Like I said earlier, is there any point camping a Vlad? Like, he's gonna get strong anyway, and that's kind of what happened this game so far. Gonna do the Dragon, but yeah, all that stemmed from... We got a solo kill on Aurelia. That forced the enemy team to panic a little bit, be around the Baron. They got engaged on. And yeah, they just die, which is good for us, I guess. Deadman, by the way, my next item, I believe. Deadman, I think, is naturally a great Sett item. 1, movement speed is always going to be good for Sett. He just has to run at things. 2, he scales with health. And 3, armor. Armor's always nice. And I guess, yeah, it's an empowered auto attack. Can't, I guess, forget about that. But the empowered auto attack of Deadman's is, in my mind, the least important thing of the item. Enemy team summon the Rift Herald. Again, it was most likely literally about to run out. But one thing I forgot to mention this game is they obviously had the Gragas, and he did opt for the full AP build. I know that's the most popular build. I still think it's, like, not good. Like, in this game, does the enemy team need Gragas's damage? Honestly, no. Like, they've got a Syndra, they've got a Misfortune, they've got an Aurelia. It really doesn't feel like they need AP Gragas's damage on top of that to me. But, yeah, they have it anyway. Syndra getting caught out. Enemy team, by the way, I think we're doing Baron. Wait for it. Here we go. Boom. There's the W. We stop the Leona. Bam! We land on top of them with the ultimate with the Leona. We're getting a double kill. We're getting a triple kill. We survive with the shield. And boom, we get a quadra kill. So there we go. From a point that I was literally about to die, we turn the fight around and we get a quadra kill. That, by the way, that was with even Vladimir not using his ultimate. That's the strength of Sett. Is the enemy team thinks they're winning the fight. Dude, we nearly got him. Bam, a big W. Then we take, I think it was the Leona, jump on top of the Misfortune that was ulting and 2 people. Remember, we're ulting on top of a tank that's got probably a bit of health. That means my ultimate is doing more damage. Again, it's what I'd say, it's really fun. Like, Sett, he's a simple champion, but he's fun. And this is where I started to learn, oh yeah, build health. So my next item, if I'm not mistaken, actually would be a Warmog's health, baby, for a couple reasons. One, Sett scales from health with, you know, getting more grit. You can see right now below my health bar, I've got 1888 grit, so that helps my W do more damage. Furthermore, if you look at the enemy team, they don't kill tanks. They've got nothing that kills tanks. Misfortune doesn't kill tanks. She's not an AD carry that kills tanks. Aurelia, she's okay at killing tanks, but this Aurelia's been kind of irrelevant this game. Syndra, it's actually a good thing if she tries to ult me, so I'd welcome her ulting me, and Gragas doesn't kill tanks. So health this game, and what I mean by killing tanks, health. The enemy team sucks against health. So build a lot of health, why not? Now we're going to look to push, you know, get pressure. I'm looking aggressive. What I was looking for there was like running at them and seeing if I could get like a flash. I get Syndra, what do? Press W not to do any damage, to use the shield to absorb a lot of the damage. It's a really effective use of it. So yeah, we get Syndra ult, which is a big thing like for my Kai'Sa, because like Kai'Sa I guess right now would probably get one shot by it. Well, now she doesn't have to be scared for it for a while because we took it. And that's like the bread and butter when you're playing a bruiser tank in top lane. Dude, I made the carry ult me, and look, I'm back to full health. Nami's healing and stuff, that was really nice. So this game so far is going pretty well. It's now looking positive. You know, we did throw it a bit earlier, but that quadra kill into the Baron helped a lot, I'd say. And I don't know, right now, I'm not overly convinced that this play is working. We might be able to all in, but you can see I'm pinging top lane, they're pinging bot lane, so we're going to go for a bit of a split, if I'm not mistaken, and just, you know, just split up, get the pressure going. It's easier to get tier 2, so we can get tier 2 top maybe, and tier 2 bot. That just gives us more gold in the long run than just waiting in mid and probably not really getting it at all, or risking an all in and just dying. So yeah, sometimes just back out, play the smart way, and yeah, it's a good thing to do. You can see how many minions I've got here because the minion wave was building. A couple auto attacks on the tower, but you can see the 2 Baroned up cannon minions absolutely wrecking the tower right now, and they're going to finish the tier 2 for me. Meanwhile, the tier 2 in bot lane is also falling. Weird positioning by our Kai'Sa. She kind of feels a bit lost right now, I guess. She should be bot lane. There's no reason she's not. I'm teleporting down there now. Again, if Kai'Sa was here, this would go so much quicker. She'd be there doing the tower damage, but she's completely just out of position. So I'm not sure what that's about. I'm going to go for the all-in on the Syndra. She does manage to survive initially. Nocturne does get the kill, though. Gragas gets the kill because he's so squishy, and we get a nice double kill there. Misfortune, running over to the side, hasn't been able to find what she wants. And what does Misfortune want? She wants to find a really good ultimate, obviously. She goes for the heal. We're going to go for her, and bam! We get the kill. Kai'Sa goes for a weird flash. And I am now legendary on Sett, and I think that is most likely the game. But yeah, that was a much better example of what to do on Sett. Yes, he can carry. Yes, he can turn team fights around basically by himself, and he's really fun. So, much better game. Obviously, we won top lane, killing the Aurelia solo a couple times. She probably outfarmed me because she was just split pushing because she just didn't have enough strength to group. But yeah, really fun. I like that game. And I think that was a better example of, you know, Sett, what he can do. So we go 11-3-10. That is my second win in Platinum Promo, to Diamond Promo rather. And yeah, we get the honors. I go 11-3-10, get 194 CS. And damage-wise, we do the most damage in the game, 500 above the enemy Syndra, and you can clearly see we do basically double the damage of Aurelia. So yeah, really good game. There is carry Sett, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, throw a like on the video. Let me know what you think of the champion down below, and I'll see you guys next time.